I know that you saw this piece about how deep the UAE's financial troubles are.
Oh, yes.
I knew, of course, through Emirati media outlets, through the Dubai media office, of course, they're talking about how the UAE is capable of bouncing back from this, and tourism has been affected, and every company has a different plan, and I'm sure they have plans. But when UAE officials are telling the US, hey, if you don't give us dollars, we're going to start selling and buying oil in Chinese yuan.
Yeah.
That is a fucking bad situation.
Yeah.
I have never heard of any other state in the Gulf trying that. Or what other state is even doing that other than Iran to a certain extent? Who?
Good question. I think it's...
No. That's the whole petrodollar system right there in the heart of it, going out of Abu Dhabi. Mm-hmm. And now they're saying we're at this stage where we have to consider this.
Yeah. And they're asking the U.S. Federal Reserve, for a swap line, which means just an open channel where they can exchange their national currency, which, I've never been there. I don't know what money they use.
I think the dirham.
The dirham, where they can go in and say, go trade as many UAE dirham for US dollars as they want. That is not something the US government does for very many countries. And it does so for only a handful of countries that are in the proximate to the financial center, the core of the US dominated financial world system. Canada gets a swap line, the UK gets a swap line. It's not for vassal states in the Gulf. It's not for the Arabs. The only non-white country that gets one is Japan, and they had to do a lot to get into that position world historically. So it is just, the U.S. has extended swap lines to other countries in particular moments of crisis, and perhaps that is what the Emiratis are asking for. But it's just this moment where it is kind of revealing the contradictions of this broader security financial arrangement where the Gulf states are like, you're going to protect us, right? They didn't protect them militarily. And it's like, well, okay, you're going to give us access to the big bank, right?
They're not, they still hate you, man. Yeah. They don't like you.
You're not in the club. You're not in the club.
I don't know if America is going to pull out its bases from the Gulf after this. I'm going to guess that they will consider it. At least some of these places, too much work for what it's worth. Yeah. Didn't really do them any good.
Didn't really work that well.
No, I'm kind of shocked at how little they did for them. But what would force, if you're not a place like Kuwait, which has some sort of parliamentary system where people can exercise some democratic rights, if you're a place like Bahrain, if you're a place like the UAE, if you're a place like Qatar, maybe not Qatar, but the UAE in particular, what would make you consider changing your strategic outlook? Not joining the axis of resistance. Don't even think about that. But just what makes you think, hey, America is not reliable anymore, and it is never going to be reliable again? What would force that?
If it's not happening now, I really don't know. And it really feels like some of these monarchies are throwing good money after bad and are failing to consider the fact that you can't pick up and move away from Iran. They're across the water. They're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. That is your neighbor.
UAE might be going somewhere.
The idea of Dubai, of Dubai might be going somewhere very far away.